Rawteur. While you were busy, the Bone began its press run. Director Nia DaCosta started talking about her approach, and this might be the best 28 movie since the original.
Why is this man naked in this bed? You know, a person in a hospital. Maybe like an infected person came in. I'm like, no, they would have bludgeoned him to death. And then I was like, oh, right. He's just mirroring the chimp in the first scene.
She didn't watch the movie as homework. She studied the movie. She went down the rabbit hole of trying to understand why a choice was made, not just trying to recreate how the film looked.
And he's saying, you know, we are one and the same, actually, which I found really interesting.
That wasn't nostalgia. That's her reverse engineering the intent behind the imagery. Now she's able to extend Danny Boyle's language instead of copying it.
So I feel like that sort of specificity and that sort of just adultness, because horror films can feel very juvenile.
Yeah.
They can feel a bit puerile, especially popular ones or studio ones. And that, the artfulness of it, you know?
Here, she's calling out a version of horror that confuses noise for tension and chaos.
Or you know, having shirtless Killian running around. It's like, no, well, I'm not gonna like, yes, it'd be great for him to, you know, be wearing a jacket, but like, you sacrifice the vulnerability of what he's doing, actually.
That's the 28 Days Later philosophy and practice. Vulnerability over comfort. Presence over polish. Those choices force the audience to sit inside the moment instead of watching it from a distance.
So I think there's a lot in that that's not even about like the VFX or not VFX of it, but about, can you make something that feels really lived in?
And once you commit to that approach, everything else in the film has to follow.
We shot something in 28 years later, the Bone Temple, where it's at night and we were like, everyone's cold, but it's like you can see people's breath and it's just really nice. That, and none of it's VFX, none of it's like added.
That's how you get performances that don't feel acted. And it's exactly why the original film still holds up 20 years later.
Nia was quite delicately forensic with the close-ups. And really looking, I can remember a scene with Jack O'Connell and me where she just kept on letting us find little subtle things. She gave time, actually, a lot of time, whereas I think Danny, maybe he's much more instinctive.
That's not an actor praising vibes. That's an actor describing process and time. She creates space for discovery instead of rushing toward coverage. It shows that Nia isn't imitating Boyle, she's complimenting him.
There's an opportunity for redemption in this storyline, and the I guess the narrative of hope that humanity can prevail once again, because the infected are people.
That idea reframes the entire threat model of this world. The infected aren't treated as lost causes. They're treated as victims.
I told the boy, there are other monsters besides the infected.
Now that's not just dialogue, that's the film reframing. The film is asking us to stop treating rage as the scariest thing in the world.
But the worst threat are not the infected. The Jimmies commit horrific acts of violence, doing terrible things to people.
Right? This is the pivot. As Samson and Dr. Kelson form a bond that invites empathy. Right, the film then redirects suspicion toward people who still have agency. The infected are trapped in rage. Jimmy chooses cruelty. And that choice is what finally turns humans into the monsters of this story. Share this video on at least one other platform, and for more industry insights, check out this video right here.